Welcome to the Chakrasamvara Center. We've been around for about 6 years now. Mai founded this in 2004 when she hosted the Dalai Lama in Miami. And then it's kind of grown from, a group of sort of unofficial practitioners just kind of getting together and practicing meditation to something a little bit bigger with yoga classes, Pilates, Jiu-Jitsu, and of course Vajrayana meditation, which is the crux of our center. So Vajrayana is the diamond vehicle. It's the third vehicle of Buddhism, and it's sometimes also referred to as Tibetan Buddhism. So that's the Dalai Lama's connection, and that's our connection. And today we're doing the White Tara practice. And so the White Tara practice is a form of Guru Yoga, and this is a practice in Tibetan Buddhism. And we're going to go through a few different visualizations and recitations during the practice. But basically, the core of what White Tara represents is she represents this empowerment for long life and also healthy living. So she helps heal people's sicknesses, and then she also empowers them to live longer. And she also represents this wisdom aspect, this feminine wisdom aspect of the Buddhas. So you see all of the different Buddhas in the meditation hall, and they all have the appearance of being different, but behind their appearance or behind their relative form is this ultimate form, this ultimate Buddha nature. And the whole point of this practice is to first access the relative form of the Buddha, which in this case would be White Tara, but it could just as easily be Vajrasattva or Padmasambhava or Green Tara or any of the other Buddhas in this hall. And the ultimate idea, though, is not just to, be with the relative aspect and to generate ourselves as the relative aspect, but to get in touch with this ultimate mind, this enlightenment mind. So enlightenment here doesn't mean something that's esoteric or mystical, but it's something that's very real. It's this feeling of just, instantaneously mental good health, just always being pristine, awake, not letting our negativities drag us down, not letting our desire or greed, our anger, or ignorance get in the way of our peace of mind or a balanced state of mind. So that's really what enlightenment means. So by doing this practice, we're trying to reduce the amount of mental afflictions we have. We're trying to reduce our greed, our anger, our ignorance. So if you do the practice and those things are reduced, then the practice has been accomplished. And if for some reason you do the practice and those increase, then you probably shouldn't do this practice. But the point of it is that we want to reduce those mental afflictions, and if we reduce or remove them in ourselves and we change them in ourselves, then we'll change how we behave, how we act, and then we can actually change the world in a meaningful way by leading by example. So that's sort of an introduction to the practice. If you need more details on the specifics of the practice or you're new, we can go over that during the one-on-one session after lunch. But other than that, we'll just jump in and begin. So we're going to start with the Heart Sutra, which is a seminal Buddhist text, and we just want to connect to our hearts. So everyone, close your eyes, sit up straight, take a deep breath. Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, meditating deeply on perfection of wisdom, saw clearly that the 5 aspects of the human existence are empty, and so released himself from suffering. Answering the monk Sariputri, said this: body is nothing more than emptiness. Emptiness is nothing more than body. The body is exactly empty, and emptiness is exactly body. The 4 aspects of the human existence, feeling, thought, will, and consciousness, are likewise nothing more than emptiness. and emptiness nothing more than they. All things are empty, nothing born, nothing dies, nothing is pure, nothing is stained, nothing increases and nothing decreases. So in emptiness there is no body, no feeling, no thought, no will, no consciousness. There are no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. There is no seeing, no hearing, no smelling, no tasting, no touching, no imagining. There is nothing seen, nor heard, nor smelled, nor tasted, nor touched, nor imagined. There is no ignorance and no end to ignorance. There is no old age and death, and no end to old age and death. There is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no end to suffering, no path to follow. There is no attainment of wisdom, and no wisdom to attain. The bodhisattvas rely on the perfection of wisdom. With no delusions, they feel no fear, and have nirvana here and now. All the Buddhas, past, present, and future, rely on the perfection of wisdom and live in full enlightenment. The perfection of wisdom is the greatest mantra. It is the clearest mantra, the highest mantra, the mantra that removes all suffering. This is truth that cannot be doubted. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisoha. Gone, gone, gone over, gone fully over, awakened, so be it. Page 3. Sadhana for meditation upon white Tara. Refuge and generation of bodhichitta. Taking refuge in a completely enlightened higher power represents the innate potential we each have for spiritual awakening. This refers to the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, the enlightened one, the teachings that lead to enlightenment, and the spiritual community who follow this path. The purpose of taking refuge is to acknowledge that everything we experience from the distorted perspective of the ego is impermanent and changing, and that the only stable source of guidance and support are the divine sources of power that can point to our true nature. So close your eyes, sit up straight, take a deep breath. Visualize before you a great wish-fulfilling tree within a pure realm. Upon the tree are a lotus and a moon disk on which sits one's root guru in the form of the perfectly enlightened one, Amitabha, the red Buddha, surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Together with all living beings surround oneself in human form, one takes refuge and creates a thought of enlightenment by reciting 3 times the following prayer. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of giving and the other good deeds, may I attain enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of giving and the other good deeds, may I attain enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of giving and the other good deeds, may I attain enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. Let's also do it in Tibetan 3 times. Sangye chotan soki chodnam la jangchu badu dakni kapsuchi daki jinso kepe sonam ki drola penchia sangye drupasho sangye chotan soki chodnam la Janchu badu dagni kapsuchi daki dinso kepe sonam ki rola penchi sanye drupasho sanye chotan soki chodnam la Janchu badu dagni kapsuchi daki dinso kepe sonam ki Rola penche sangye drupasho. All that has been visualized now dissolves into light, which is absorbed into oneself, whereby one receives the blessings of the Guru and the Buddhas. The 4 limitless prayers. With love, compassion, joy, and equanimity, recite the 4 limitless prayers. We'll do it in English first and then in Tibetan. May all sentient beings have the happiness and the cause of happiness. May all be freed from sorrow and the cause of sorrow. May all never be separated from the bliss that is sorrowless. May all live in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all sentient beings have the happiness and the cause of happiness. May all be free from sorrow and the cause of sorrow. May all never be separated from the bliss that is sorrowless. May all live in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all sentient beings have the happiness and the cause of happiness. May all be free from sorrow and the cause of sorrow. May all never be separated from the bliss that is sorrowless. May all live in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Semchen tamsha dewa dan dewe gyudan dan pa chik. Semchen tamsha dudne gi gyudan drawa chik. Semchen tamsha dudne mepe dewa dan mi drawa chik. Semchen tamsha niding chadan nidan drawe tamnom lana pa chik. Semchen tamsha dewa dan dewe gyudan dan pa chik. Semchen tamsha dudne gi dudan drawa chik. Semchen tamsha dudne mepe dewa dan mi drawa chik. Semchen tamsha niding chadan nidan drawe tamnom lana pa chik. Semchen tamsha dewa dan dewe gyudan dan pa chik. Semchen tamsha dudne dan dugne gi gyudan drawa chik. Semchen tamsha dudne mepe dewa dan mi drawa chik. Semchen tamsha niding chadan nidan drawe tamnom lana pa chik. Chonla meditation. So close your eyes again, sit up straight, and take a deep breath. And visualize in front of you a loved one or a friend. And see that person's mental, physical, and emotional suffering as a black cloud of smoke in front of that person. Now, see a bright white light comes down from the sky, touches your crown, passes through your head and neck, and touches your heart. Connected to the light in your heart. Breathe in deeply the black cloud of smoke of that person's suffering. Connect it to your heart and lungs. And then breathe out beautiful white light towards that person. So as you breathe in the black smoke, feel that you're taking on this person's mental, physical, and emotional suffering. And you're acting as a bridge to the light in your heart. And as you breathe out the white light and send it to this person, feel that you're sending this person your love, compassion, your good karma, your good merit. So continue to take on this person's suffering and send them your love and light. And continue to breathe in the black smoke and send them the light until the black cloud of smoke disappears into emptiness. reflecting that all things by nature are utterly pure, and so too am I by nature utterly pure, meditate upon the emptiness of all phenomena, emptiness which in reality is beyond concepts of existence and non-existence, beyond activities inconceivable and inexpressible. While meditating on this, say, Om Sabhava Shuddha Sabhadharma Sabhava Shuddho Om. Nature's empty, everything's pure, naturally pure, that's what I am. Main visualization. Creation of oneself as the deity. Close your eyes, sit up straight, take a deep breath. Visualize out of the state of emptiness appears the syllable palm, which you can visualize in English letters or the Tibetan equivalent. From the palm arises a white lotus. Within this white lotus appears an Ah, from which arises a moon disk. On top of this moon disk is one's own mind in the form of a white tom, clear and shining. From this tom, light rays issue forth to make offerings to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. These light rays also shine upon all beings, purifying their sins and obscurations. Those beings are all transformed into the form of white Tara. The light rays now return to the syllable Tam, and from a sudden transformation of the syllable, oneself arises as the Reverend Tara, whose body is flawless and white like an autumn moon with peaceful expression. She has a single face and two hands. Her right hand shows the gesture of giving and holds a white peaceful vase, while her left hand is in the gesture of giving protection. Her hair is half piled upward in a knot, and half falls loosely downward. In the bloom of youth, with her body fully developed, she is adorned by jeweled ornaments. She wears a lower garment of finest silk and sits with her feet in the lotus position. Behind her is a full moon. Within her heart, resting upon a moon disk, is a white syllable Tam. Rays of light issue forth from it to invoke the transcendental wisdom aspect of the deity as one utters, Om Vajra Samaya. Upon recitation with Vajra invoking mudra, this now appears before one in the form of Tara as described above. Visualize that many goddesses issue forth from one's heart to make offerings to the deity and recite the mantras of the mudras. Om Vajra Adiyama Om Vajra Padiyama Om Vajra Pushpeya Om Vajra Dipeya Om Vajra Rokya Om Vajra Gandeya Om Vajra Naivideya Om Vajra Shabda While reciting the following mantra with mudras, visualize that the transcendental knowledge aspect of the deity is absorbed into oneself, whereby one becomes not different from the Reverend Tara herself, and say, Za Hum Bam Ho. invoking the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. At one's forehead appears a white Om, at one's throat a red Ah, and at one's heart a blue Hum. Again, rays of light issue forth from the syllable Tam in one's heart to invoke the 5 Buddhas of consecration, Virachana, Aksobhya, Ratnasambhava, Amitabha, and Amoghasiddhi, as one utters. Om Vajra Samaya. The 5 consecration Buddhas appear in the sky before oneself with their retinues. As before, goddesses issue forth from the heart to make offerings with mudras. Om Vajra Arigyama Om Vajra Padiyama Om Vajra Pushpeya Om Vajra Dupeya Om Vajra Rokeya Om Vajra Gandeya Om Vajra Nivdeya Om Vajra Shabda. The consecration Buddha speak to one thus. When the Buddha, the Blessed One, was born, the God showered him with fragrant water, and so with the pure water the Celestial bestow upon you consecration. Visualize that as they pour the water of consecration, they utter the following mantra, which should be spoken aloud. Om Sarva Tathagata Hapshigata Samaya Shriye Hum. The 5 Buddhas bestow consecration by pouring water over one's head from consecrated vases. This consecrated water fills one's whole body from the head downwards, removing all impurities and defilements. As the water overflows from the top of one's head, the Buddha Amitabha appears to adorn one's head as a crown. Visualization and reciting mantra. Again, rays of light issue forth from the Tam in one's heart, which rests upon a moon disk and is surrounded by the 10 syllables of the mantra rosary. These light rays make offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and also accomplish the benefit of living beings. These light rays now return and are absorbed in the syllable Tam and the mantra rosary in one's heart. With these light rays come all the blessings, wisdom, power, and compassion of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Maintaining this visualization, recite the mantra, the Reverend Tara, as many times as possible. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Mamaya Unyayana Pustim Kuru Soa. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Mamaya
To